Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today we're tackling something really fascinating. How do you take dense stuff, like a film analysis, or maybe even a complex report, and make it genuinely engaging for you?
Yeah, make it stick,
Yeah,
right? Not just dry fact.
exactly. And our source material today, it's this amazing, reimagined analysis of a new Kannada thriller drama called Eltuu Muthaa. It's basically a masterclass in doing just that.
Mhm.
We're not just looking at the film itself, we're sort of peeling back the layers on how you craft compelling information about any creative work. Okay, let's unpack this. It's about the film, sure, but also the process of making analysis shine.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
And what's so insightful, I think, is how this analysis we're looking at, it actually does what it talks about. It
Right.
takes this, deep 5,000-word look at the film
Yeah.
and makes it incredibly approachable, memorable even.
Right.
So our mission here is to pull out the key insights, about Eltuu Muthaa, but maybe more importantly, about the art of making complex info accessible and, entertaining, engaging.
And they really went for it, plagiarism-free, easy to grasp, even some humor thrown in, but keeping all the facts straight. Names, places, dates, all nailed down.
Absolutely. It's a great blueprint, really, for communicating effectively. It shows you how to do it.
I totally agree. And what better way to see those principles in action than by, well, applying them to the film itself? Let's use this approach to talk about Eltuu Muthaa.
Okay.
So, it's a Kannada thriller drama, came out August 1st, 2025, and the setting, wow, the analysis makes it sound like more than just a backdrop.
Oh, definitely.
We're talking the rain-soaked Kodagu Hills, Korg, in Karnataka. Our source paints this incredibly vivid picture. The cinematographer, Mayappa Bhaskar, apparently breathtaking work. Every frame like a postcard. You can almost feel the mist.
You really get that sense of place.
Yeah. Now, apparently the original reviews, probably from places like Cinema Express, maybe the New Indian Express, around when it came out,
Hmm.
they hinted it was ambitious, but maybe didn't quite stick the landing.
That seems to be the gist. A 2.5 out of 5, maybe. And something about too much symbolism.
Exactly. Which kind of sets the stage for why this detailed, engaging reanalysis was needed in the first place, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It highlights that sometimes the first take, or maybe a very dry take, just doesn't capture it all, or doesn't connect.
Right.
So the intention behind this big analysis we're using was all about getting clarity, getting engagement, simplifying things that maybe felt tangled in the original film or reviews.
Like explaining terms people might not know.
Exactly, like funeral drummers. That's pretty specific. Or really digging into why Kodagu itself is so important culturally, making it accessible.
And that connects to the bigger picture, right? Making information work.
Totally. It shows the effort involved. Not just reading facts,
Right.
but mastering them, presenting them so they resonate, and the research that went into this analysis.
Wow. They really checked everything.
Oh, yeah. Cross-referencing multiple sources, Cinema Express, IMDb, Book My Show, Deccan Herald, just making sure every detail, cast, director, plot points was spot on.
That's crucial.
It is. That factual accuracy builds trust. Then you have the freedom, to bring in humor or insight without sounding like you're just guessing. It's foundational.
Like building that solid base before you add the flair. Love it. Okay, so let's get into the story of Eltuu Muthaa itself. Because even with flaws, it sounds really intriguing.
It does have a strong core concept.
And the analysis makes it easy to follow. So you've got these two childhood friends, Eltuu and Muthaa, and their job is, well, it's unique. They're funeral drummers in Kodagu.
Playing the dole, that big traditional drum, right?
Yeah.
And funerals.
Yeah, exactly. A very specific, kind of somber traditional role. It immediately grounds things in that culture. Their bond sounds super strong, inseparable almost.
Until it isn't.
Right. Here's where it gets interesting, and the analysis really flags this. The trouble starts when they find this ancient conch shell near a river.
Ah, the catalyst.
Totally. And it's not just any shell. It's loaded with local folklore, supposed to be a blessing and a curse.
Always a dangerous mix.
You bet. So Muthaa, he's the dreamer. He sees it as his ticket out, to wealth, a better life. But Eltuu, he's cautious, he sees the danger, warns Muthaa about messing with things they don't understand.
Classic conflicts.
Yeah.
Ambition versus caution.
Exactly. And of course, Muthaa, driven by that ambition, he ignores the warnings, takes the conch.
And then things start to go wrong.
Pretty much immediately. Strange stuff in the village. Crops failing, animals getting sick, people whispering about curses. Eltuu tries to get Muthaa to return it, but, well, greed's taken hold.
So Muthaa leaves.
Yep. Leaves the village, conch in tow, chasing riches. Years pass. He comes back, wealthy, all right, but clearly haunted. changed.
In Eltuu.
Eltuu stayed. He's been trying to mend the community, maybe his own conscience too. It's that classic story, ambition, friendship, but with this really unique, mystical layer tied right into the Kodagu landscape.
That narrative really forces you to think, doesn't it? About how ancient beliefs and, like, modern desires just crash into each other.
Yeah, and how that changes relationships forever.
The film really puts that under the microscope. And the analysis helps unpack those universal themes. Friendship, betrayal, losing your innocence.
Tradition versus modernity too, right? And super audition.
Absolutely. All of that. And it explores, can they even reconcile? After all that time, all that's happened, can those wounds heal?
The flashbacks must be key there.
For sure. Showing them as kids, innocent, then contrasting it with the conflicted men they become, shows how far they've drifted. What's great about our source's approach is how it boils down this whole journey. Makes the emotional arc really clear.
Relatable, even if the specifics are unique.
Exactly. It proves you can analyze something culturally specific, but still hit those universal human struggles. That's a huge takeaway for explaining anything complex.
Yeah,
Find the human core.
definitely. And, okay, beyond the story, the analysis highlights some amazing cinematic stuff. Let's talk about the good parts.
Please do. There were strengths.
The setting, like we said, just stunning. The analysis really praises Mayappa Bhaskar's cinematography, Kodagu's greenery, misty mountains, traditional life, all captured beautifully, like postcards, frame after frame.
Sounds visually rich.
Totally. Then the acting. Shari Pratap as Muthaa gets props for showing that whole arc dreamer to guilt-ridden guy, really nuanced.
Mm-hmm.
And Ras Surya, he directs and plays Eltuu, brings this quiet intensity. You feel the weight on him. Oh, and baby Priya, a young girl in the film, apparently her cuteness is potent enough to power a small city.
Huh. Gotta love that description.
Right. And the music. Prasanna Keshav. Haunting, atmospheric, perfectly matches the mood. The analysis describes it like, walking in a foggy forest at night with just a distant drum sound, that vibe.
Sounds immersive. Those elements can really pull you in.
They can. But as the analysis smartly points out, sometimes even with great visuals and intentions, a story can get, well, tangled up in itself.
Trying too hard to be deep.
Yeah, maybe. The film has strengths, but weaknesses too. And looking at those flaws, that offers lessons for anyone creating anything, really.
Okay, like what?
Well, first, the symbolism overload. The director, Ras Surya, clearly had big ideas, but maybe too many. The analysis says it's crammed with symbols: the conch, a peacock, a cobra.
Right, I remember reading about the peacock and cobra fable. Eltuu is the peacock, Muthaa the cobra.
That's the one. Eltuu, beautiful and free, Muthaa, dangerous, misunderstood. But instead of letting it unfold subtly, the film apparently smacks you over the head with it repeatedly.
Ouch! So, annoyance instead of insight.
Pretty much. Feels like a lecture. And that's a lesson, isn't it? Don't just dump metaphors or facts on your audience. Guide them.
Simplify, don't just list. Good point. What else?
Pacing. The first half is slow, deliberately atmospheric, sure, but it drags. You're checking your watch.
Yeah, that can lose people quickly.
And then there's the ugly side, the execution overall. It seems the film just tried to do too much, bit off more than it could chew.
Ambitious, but not quite clear.
Exactly. That symbolism kind of muddies what could have been a powerful, straightforward story. Some scenes feel underdeveloped, others drag on too long. Like that student who knows the material but doesn't quite answer the question on the test.
Interesting analogy. Effort, but misses the mark.
Yeah. But what's great is how the analysis critiques this constructively. It's not just tearing it down.
Which is key for useful analysis.
Totally. So, okay, let's bring it back to the average viewer. The common person's take, as the analysis puts it. How does Eltuu Muthaa stack up for them?
What's the simple version?
Two friends, funeral drummers. Find a magic conch. One wants it for money, the other says no. Friendship breaks. Can they fix it? That's basically it.
Is it good?
It's okay. Scenery's amazing, acting's good, music's great, but slow. Tries too hard sometimes.
So watch it if you like friendship stories and have patience.
Pretty much. Not an action flick. The takeaway. Greed breaks things, but maybe they can be fixed if you face the music. And this is where the source analysis just shines, using humor and sarcasm to make these points land.
Ah, like the analogies.
Yes, comparing it to your friend inviting you to a party.
That turns out to be a poetry reading.
Exactly. You expect fun, you get 3 hours of metaphors. Or calling the conch the MacGuffin of all MacGuffins, like Indiana Jones chasing a fancy seashell.
That definitely makes the critique more memorable. and relatable.
It does. It's like, finding that unexpected comparison that just makes a complex idea click for someone.
Absolutely. And that's what's so interesting, isn't it? How the analysis's approach, with its wit and clarity, kind of mirrors the film's attempt to tell a human story. It shows how critical thinking plus a bit of style can illuminate things for you, the listener.
Hmm.
And this film, flaws and all, it does matter. It highlights a life we don't often see rural India, these funeral drummers.
That's true. It's not a common subject.
No. And the film gives you a real peek into their world, the
Hmm.
rituals, traditions, struggles. It's got this documentary feel wrapped in drama, plus that mystical element.
And Kodagu isn't just pretty pictures.
Not at all. It's alive in the story, the film immerses you, and the analysis makes sure you appreciate that. You almost smell the rain, hear the doll, feel the tradition. It finds beauty even in something somber like a funeral. It's authentic.
And the analysis mirrors that authenticity in its critique, makes it valuable in its own right.
Precisely.
So there you have it, our deep dive into Eltuu Muthaa, a film with, wow, incredible visuals, a strong core story, but also a lesson in how ambition can sometimes, trip over its own feet.
Especially when trying to say too much, maybe.
Yeah. Final verdict on the film, solid 2.5 out of 5. Maybe a 3 if you're a sucker for scenery like me and count Kodagu as a bonus character.
Fair enough.
Definitely not for everyone, but it's a unique window into a part of India we rarely see on screen. But really, beyond the film, what we explored today is how you take something complex, like film criticism, and use clarity, humor, solid facts.
And then maybe a good analogy or two.
Right, and transform it into something captivating, something anyone can grasp. It's a blueprint for communication.
Which leads to a final thought, maybe. When you encounter new information, anything, really, how much attention do you pay not just to what is being said, but how it's presented?
That's a good question.
Because often, that's where the real magic of understanding kicks in. Think about all the stories out there, waiting not just to be heard, but to be truly understood, the deeper truths, the effort behind them. Maybe that next complex report or idea you need to explain could use a little, I don't know, atmospheric detail.
Or a really fancy seashell analogy. Absolutely. Keep seeking those deeper truths, keep exploring, and keep diving into knowledge with us. Until next time, stay curious.